What's it like to be young today? What's it like, you may wonder, to grow up in the world as we know it today? It ain't easy. Our grandparents belonged to what's called the greatest generation that ever lived. They had a democracy to defend against an invading force, and many died doing so in World War II. Us? If you listen to the whispers in the trees, we are the lost generation. Where in the past we had Franklin Delano Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, his brother Bobby, and Martin Luther King as role models, our national idols today are, well, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and the late Steve Jobs. There's nothing wrong with them. They are indeed, each in their own way, great success stories. But some would argue we need a soul. We, as a group of young people, need something. A foundation, a beacon of light, an education, a guiding force. Who are we? You really want to know? We are diverse, we are different, and we are many. It would be impossible to pigeonhole us into one group, but I'll tell you who some of us are, the kids I grew up with. We all went to a small school on the leafy fringes of the Blue Hills, where the towns of Canton and Milton intersect. About 500 feet above us on a hill is an old weather observatory, built of granite and stone. Next to us is a farm with chickens, sheep, and a llama named Jack. It's called Thatcher Montessori School. Most times we just called it Thatcher. Some of the other students back then were Mark, James, Taylor, Carmen, Owen, Dylan, and Kate, my sister. You'll learn a bit more about each of them in a while. You'll see brief interviews with them in a moment. And then there was me, Dan. I guess I forgot to tell you. I'm a freshman at Brown University, interested in math and computer science. For fun, I like to feed my pet fish, pantalones cortos, which means short pants in Spanish. The funny thing about this school is that it's a commuter school. Parents coming from towns like Quincy, Milton, Boston, Canton, Dedham, Westwood, Walpole, Stoughton, and Easton would drop their kids off in the morning and pick them up in the afternoon. You learn, you eat, you play ball, and you go home. In schools where kids don't live in the same neighborhood, it can be hard to bond. 8-year-olds don't say, "Mom, I'm taking the family car to go see my friend in Walpole." But Thatcher was different. We all got to be friends real fast, whether we liked it or not. We had no choice. Because in the Montessori school system, they don't have a typical classroom setup. Instead, we work in groups. Small groups sitting at small tables, all together. If someone had garlic pizza or tuna for lunch, you'd know it right away. Now, if you were a loner or very shy, you didn't stay that way for long. Thatcher had a way of bringing everyone out of their shell. A very good buddy of mine, someone I really got to know well, was Mark McFadder. Like me, he was a budding geek, maybe even more than me. For 9 years, from kindergarten through 8th grade, we were like magnets, always together. And here he is in a recent video taken for this documentary.
I was a very shy and awkward kid. Pat Jackson, she's still, shocked today to like the progression that I've made, because like 1st through 3rd grade, I was this kid that like anytime she'd have to keep a close eye on me, because anytime she'd spin over to me, I'd just be sitting there like not working, just fiddling with something by myself in a chair in a table in the corner. And teachers help you work to get more social and be with kids, to the point that later on I ended up inventing I took the animal cards that we had, and I ended up inventing a game that became so popular that's all that people wanted to do, and we took those away. And Mrs. Jackson took those away. Nowadays, to the extent that when I tell people that I was like introverted and that I'm like, I still have like shy parts to me, they're just like, what? Because to a lot of my friends, I'm one of like the most, like outspoken out there. Like that's really become a part of me. It's like my social ability as a person, on top of my academic ability as a person, just it wouldn't even be like existent if it weren't for Thatcher. Like if I didn't have Thatcher as a part of me, I wouldn't be me.
The thing about the Montessori system is that they put 3 age groups together in one classroom, so that the younger ones can learn from the older ones. It's just like at home, where the younger sibling learns from the older brother or sister. That way, I got to hang out with a lot of kids a bit older than me. One of them was Dylan Hughes. Now Dylan, he was athletic. Big, strong, loved football, ace pitcher in the Little League. He left in 7th grade, although he says if he could do it over again, he would have stayed. The school he went to was another commuter school, morning drop-off, afternoon pickup, and there was little bonding in between. Even though he attended a different school, he returned to Thatcher during the summer for music and drama camp, just like I did. In fact, we often got rides together and to and from camp. And now it turns out he loves Thatcher so much, he's taken time off from Tufts University, where he's studying biopsychology to work as a teacher's assistant at the school. The kids at the school love him, so I'm told. Most of us started at Thatcher in kindergarten or 1st grade, but Taylor Langmead, came to us in 5th grade. Public school wasn't doing it for her. Academically, she was having difficulties. She was in the middle of the pack, and she just wasn't getting a lot of attention. After she came to Thatcher, she just mesmerized everyone. Having a perennial smile on her face and an upbeat attitude didn't hurt either. She went off to high school after 8th grade and is now a freshman at LaSalle College. But like Dylan, she's back subbing as a teacher's assistant at the school. When kids see her in the hallways, they always run to give her a hug. And then there was Carmen Barsomian Dietrich. Carmen was good friends with my sister. They were together in kindergarten, but in 6th grade they heard that she was applying to other schools for junior high. She got accepted at Boston Latin and a few other places, but everyone was quite relieved to learn that she decided to stay at Thatcher for the remaining 2 years. Cool. Gonna get a drink of water? We don't have it all together. Like many of our peers, we don't know what we're going to be doing in 5-10 years. But to be honest, peering into our future is kind of scary for us to do. And in that sense, we're so much like everyone from our generation. The research shows that many of our college grads are now living with their parents, sleeping in the same bedrooms they occupied as kids. But one thing me and my Thatcher friends have, I can safely say, is that we've discovered at least one, if not more, of our passions. Music, mathematics, literature, art, cinematography, whatever it is that really gets us on fire. And I think that's because of the curiosity that Thatcher tapped into and drew out of us. We knew our parents had to make sacrifices to send us there, and for that, we will be forever grateful. Because even though, as a generation, we're lost and still fumbling through the darkness, we've discovered meaning, and with that, a part of our soul.